Hi, everybody. It's me once again here to share messages from my Bilingual Heart. It's English Day today, so I'm speaking in English directly from the heart in an attempt to open my heart and activate my throat chakra and start to express myself in the ways that I feel are true to myself without thinking too much or without doing any planning. Just really coming here and taking the time to do this work for myself. I am really, really excited this morning, and that's why I just ran over here and I'm like, okay, I'm feeling that twinge in my heart. Something wants to come out. Let's do it. Let's express this excitement that's trying to explode from my heart right now and not worry too much about how to say it or what exactly I'm going to say, but just let it out. And so I don't know. I guess it's been a really long time since I've let myself follow my passions and, start investing or spending money on things that I'm really curious about or that I really want to know more about or that I really want to do without worrying too much about what other people think or, getting other people's opinions. That normally would just shut me down and block me off from these things right away. And so I found a course online that I really like. Haven't you just ever found something that just speaks to you on this level where you're like, oh my God, yes, yes, yes. Like, wow, this is exactly what I needed to hear. And wow, this is so awesome. Like, I'm so happy that I found this. And you just know, like, to the core of your being that it's going to change your life and that you're like hearing what you need to hear at the right moment. And you're just so on track with where you're supposed to be. And you're not worrying, you're just relaxed and you're just happy. Like, that's what I'm really trying to work on right now is just moving towards happiness, always moving towards happiness instead of acting out of fear or fear of judgment, fear of like what others are doing or like just having to follow others or trusting others more than I trust myself. With this exercise in just letting myself speak from the heart, I'm also starting to learn to trust myself again. Trust myself to say the right thing, but also trust myself to know what I need to say and to know what I need to do without looking outside or looking to others to tell me if I'm doing the right thing. I know that I have my own kind of GPS and guidance system built in, and if we tap into that and we stop ignoring it like we've been taught to do our entire lives, if we really tap into that and start paying attention to what we really want and to what's good for us instead of this idea of like, oh, well, I should be doing this or I should be doing that because it's responsible or this other person is doing it, or if I want to be successful in this world, this is the only option, even if I don't really want to do that. That's all bullshit, And so, I've let myself follow sometimes, and I've also had experiences where I've let myself follow others sometimes, or fall into that fear and fall into that judgment and to that idea of not trusting my intuition or trusting my inner GPS. But I have also allowed myself to follow my inner GPS and follow my intuition. And the times that I did that the most was when I was traveling. So for a long time, I thought that I just really, really loved traveling. Yeah, sure, like there are things that I love about traveling. I love discovering new places, seeing new things. I mean, there are great things about traveling, but it's it was actually something else about traveling that I loved and that I'm realizing that I can incorporate in my everyday life. I just didn't know how to do it outside of traveling, and that is to just, like when I was traveling, I felt like I was really living fully in the present moment, and that I would just, go with the flow of life. I was just totally letting myself be open, trusting life, not having any plans, just trusting that things would work out, and they did. They always did, and I had such beautiful experiences. I'll always remember, and this story comes back to me a lot. It was a trip that I took with a dear, dear friend. I don't even know how we ended up taking this trip, but suddenly here we are, hitchhiking. We decided that for some reason we just had to go around one of the Great Lakes. And so we were hitchhiking around this Great Lake, and we had no idea where we would be sleeping, where we would be stopping. It was completely unplanned. I'm looking at it now. I'm surprised that she even followed me into that kind of adventure, because it's not really her style. But she did it with me, and somehow she trusted too. And we arrived in one town one day, and we were just trying to see like where we were going to sleep that night. And a stranger comes along and starts talking to us because we have our backpacks on, and next thing you know, we're staying at their house, and it was an awesome night. It was like a bunch of just really nice people our age, who they had a pet snake, I remember, and it was just so real and raw, and I loved that about life, and it was just like a real experience, unforced, unplanned, just these people coming together. We never heard from them again or saw them again, but it doesn't matter, it was just a moment where we came together, and I learned something, maybe they learned something too, but then the beautiful thing was the second night, actually. It was beautiful. So we hitchhiked. We were in the middle of this town in the States, and nighttime was coming, and that's when, I don't like hitchhiking in the dark, and so I was starting to get a little bit worried because we were really in the middle of nowhere. And then this van comes up, and it was a woman and her daughter, and they invited us to go to their home, and we went with them, and it was like these are people who their home was really like in the middle of this flat field, and it wasn't the most like luxurious home, but just like the people that were like this this little girl was so happy that we were with them, and these people didn't have much, but they offered everything that they had, and they were so happy to share with us, like a couple of strangers. We had a fire in the yard, and I played my ukulele for them, and it was just so happy and so incredible. And so we slept there, and in the morning they like made us a big brunch, for them, I imagine. They made all the best stuff, and I've had so many beautiful moments like this where I think back to that and I'm like, wow, as if that happened. Like, it's so cool, I loved being able to prove the idea that, like, everybody always said, well, oh, you're hitchhiking, like there are only bad people out there, only bad things can happen. And I loved proving that like beautiful random moments could happen like that in life. And I treasure those moments so much. And I always asked myself, like, I felt like I didn't deserve those things. I always asked myself, like, why me? Like, I wasn't even giving these people anything back. I felt like I was like, I'm not giving them any money. I'm not bringing gifts. Like, Why would they be so nice to me? Why would they give me everything that they have? I had a really hard time opening my heart to accept their gifts. They were just giving so lovingly and so freely. Like seriously, that like I say that story when there were many like all over the world. Like I've experienced that in Canada, I've experienced that in the States, I've experienced it in Mexico and China. I know the goodness in people, and I know that desire to share, and I'm ready to start accepting those gifts because I do deserve them. And for some reason I've always felt like I wasn't giving these people anything back, but I must be. And I think I'm finally starting to see or understand what it is that I give back. I'm still not entirely sure, but now I'm at least open to the possibility that I am giving something back. Maybe it's light, maybe it's, I don't know, just general curiosity and kindness. Maybe people just aren't used to that, and I don't know. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's refreshing to start to open yourself to thinking that you're enough, and thinking that you are worthy, and thinking that you, not thinking, feeling. This is so all about feeling, and I don't want it to be too much about thinking anymore, because I know that I think a lot, and which is fine and all, but I know that I need to practice feeling and seeing, just feeling in my body, like feeling all the sensations, and feeling that I am worthy, and feeling that I do have gifts to bring for others. And so another thing that I'm really excited about is this chance that I have to meet with somebody on Friday, who is somebody that I feel like I've been waiting for. And I really feel like Friday is going to be a big turning point again. I guess there are a lot of turning points, really, but the important thing is to recognize them and appreciate them and soak them up and really live them. So on that, I'm so excited about this course that I'm doing that I really want to move on to Module 2. And so I'm going to leave this podcast at that for today, and we'll see where everything's at tomorrow. So wishing you a beautiful, beautiful day, and thanks for listening. Hope that this shined a little light in your day as well.